Hello and welcome to i-nastava. This is an English lesson for the second grade of high school. Our topic today is time travel. My name is Livija Pribanić and I will be your teacher in this lesson. Today we will analyze the concept of time. Through the various activities, you will use new time expressions in a new context, and you will also learn how to use the third conditional. And now it's time to get ready for some serious work. So please prepare your notebook and writing utensil. Don't forget, you can pause the video lesson at any time. Are you ready? Let's warm up a bit. So the title of our lesson today is time travel. But before we travel somewhere through time, let's talk about time. What is time actually? How would you define it? Please pause the lesson now and write your short definition of time in your notebooks. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody who doesn't know what time is. What would be the simplest explanation or a definition that you would like to hear? I'm sure you have written down a very creative definition of your own. According to the physicists, however, time is nothing but a dimension, the fourth dimension, along with length, height, and width. Did you know that? People tend to talk a lot about time these days. In our first activity, you will listen to Jane. While listening, decide what the text is about. Are you ready? Let's listen.
Time, time, time. That omnipresent concept that pushes us out of our beds in the morning, day in, day out. Sometimes it seems like we all just work round the clock, doesn't it? The list of duties just goes on and on. Take notes, sign in the virtual classrooms, mark as read, do the tasks, search the web, write, listen, read. But hey, let's call it a day. We're all just human and we need time to relax. I've said to myself time without number. Make a plan for every day and stick to it. Don't multitask. And do I follow my own piece of advice? Rarely. I need to learn to make time for the things I enjoy. If only I could learn that and be bored sometimes. I wish I could just say how time drags from time to time.
Does this photo depict Jane's words? What does she talk about? Time pressure, time management, burnout. All of these things. Yes, you are right. Now, listen to Jane again. This time, write down all the expressions related to time. Don't forget, you can pause the video at any point. Take your time and write down the expressions.
Time, time, time. Time, time, time. That omnipresent concept that pushes us out of our beds in the morning, day in, day out. Sometimes it seems like we all just work round the clock, doesn't it? The list of duties just goes on and on. Take notes, sign in the virtual classrooms, mark as read, do the tasks, search the web, write, listen, read. But hey, let's call it a day. We're all just human and we need time to relax. I've said to myself time without number. Make a plan for every day and stick to it. Don't multitask. And do I follow my own piece of advice? Rarely. I need to learn to make time for the things I enjoy. If only I could learn that and be bored sometimes. I wish I could just...
Let's check the expressions together. Day in, day out. Work round the clock. Call it a day. Time without number. To make time. How time drags. And finally, from time to time. These are the expressions used in Jane's text. Now let's see, what do these expressions mean? Here is another table. Please match the pairs. You can pause the video now, go through the second table and match the pairs. Once you are finished, return to the video lesson and we will check together. Are you ready? Let's check together. Day in, day out means day after day. Work around the clock means to work without stopping. Call it a day means to stop working. Time without number means many, many times, over and over again. To make time means to spare time, to find time. How time drags means how slowly the time passes. And finally, from time to time means occasionally. Well done! When talking about time, we all seem to be experts, right? Let's go through some fun facts. What you see here on the screen are 4 sentences. A day lasts 24 hours. Time passes faster for your face than for your feet. On Mercury, a day lasts 2 years. When dinosaurs were alive, there were 365 days in a year. Which of these sentences do you believe are true and which are false? Think about it. Let's check. A day lasts 24 hours. Now that is false. A day actually lasts 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.2 seconds. The reason it's 24 hours from sunrise to sunrise is because every day the Earth moves further in its orbit around the Sun, and the change in its position lengthens the day slightly. Are you surprised? Let's see the second one. Time passes faster for your face than for your feet. This is true. Einstein showed that gravity makes time run more slowly. Einstein's theory of relativity dictates that the closer you are to the center of the Earth, the slower time goes. Time passes therefore faster for your face than for your feet, assuming you're standing up. Third, on Mercury, a day lasts 2 years. That is true. And finally, when the dinosaurs were alive, there were 365 days in a year is false. A year was 5 days longer. Now we have all learned something new, haven't we? When talking about time and longer spans of time, people usually refer to some important events. If we are to present or show a longer span of time and mark all these events, we would use timelines. Here is an example of a timeline. This timeline starts with the year 2000, when the millennium began. It ends with 2009. There are several important events presented here. So let's go through the list together. In 2001, Wikipedia was launched and Steve Jobs introduced the first iPod. In the year 2002, the euro was introduced as currency. In 2003, the Volkswagen Beetle was made in Mexico as the last one after 65 years in production. In 2004, Facebook was formed. A new era started. In 2005, YouTube was founded. And then just a year later, in 2006, Twitter appeared on the scene of social networks. In 2007, iPhone was launched to the market. 2008 is marked by two events. Google Chrome was released, and the electric car Tesla Roadster was launched. And in 2009, the cryptocurrency Bitcoin was launched. So we could go on and on and on. Now try to imagine no iPhone, but this phone. No internet, no Google Chrome, but encyclopedias. Can you imagine that? Take a look at these two sentences. If they had not launched Google Chrome, we would have spent hours searching for data. If Jobs had not invented iPod, we wouldn't have listened to music so much. Look at the grammar structures that appear in these sentences. How is this structure formed? What do we express by these two sentences? In both sentences, the structure is if plus past perfect and would or wouldn't have plus past participle. If they had not launched YouTube, we wouldn't have seen any of her videos. There would have been different currencies across Europe if they had not introduced euro. This construction is called the third conditional. We use it to talk about unrealistic past events. Let's practice third conditional a bit more. You can copy the link into your browser, or you can scan the QR code. It will take you to a quiz, third conditional. Once you press the start button, the quiz will start. There are 7 sentences in the quiz, and in each of the sentences, a part, a verb is missing. Read the sentences carefully. Pay close attention to the form of the third conditional. Don't forget, submit your answers after each sentence, and you will get the feedback if your answer is correct or not. Now pause the lesson and take the quiz. Another task for you to practice. Make the timeline of your life. You can draw the timeline in your notebooks, or you can use any of the digital tools. Canva, for example, or Adobe Spark. These are all free tools, and I'm sure you have used them before. Add 10 events, and then record your speech using third conditional. If I hadn't, I would have. Refer to your 10 events and what would have happened if you could change the past. Here is a simple checklist for your assignment. So my timeline is easy to read. This is extremely important for the ones who will draw the timeline in their notebooks. There are 10 events on my timeline. Once you start recording, please be careful. Your speech needs to be loud and clear. Check if you have used the third conditional. And finally, check if the pronunciation is correct. If you can tick all of these, it's time to send your assignment to your teacher. Well done. We've been talking about time a lot so far in this lesson, but now we will talk about time travel. Before we go on with our activities, let's do some brainstorming. I would like you to make a mind map. You can draw one in your notebooks, or you can use any of the digital tools like Bubble Us, for example. Now, in the center of your mind map, write time travel, and then include all the words you connect to time travel. You can pause the video lesson now, make your mind map, and then come back. Here is my list of words I connect to time travel. Time machine, journey, log, speed. Wormhole, clock, spacecraft, explore. Space warp, travelogue, special relativity. I'm sure you have some of these words on your list as well. Now please pause the video lesson and copy the words from my list that you don't have on your list, because you will need these words for the activity that follows. Your next task is a reading task. A short text will appear on the screen. I hope you have read the text. Now please, pause the video lesson and fill in the missing words. Use the words from the previous slide. Good luck. Once you are finished, return to the video lesson and we will check the answers together. And here is the text with the answers. Finally, my dream is coming true. I've been constructing my time machine for years. So much planning, so many hours in my garage, so many details to worry about. The machine looks more like a spacecraft, but that's not important. I'm ready for time travel. I've been doing a lot of research too. I know all about the tunnel-like structure between space and time called wormhole. I also know everything about the fastest speed of all, space warp. Oh, not to forget, I'm an expert in Einstein's special relativity. My journey is to take place in 2 weeks. I'm not sure which period I will explore, but I do know my log needs to be as detailed as possible. Who knows, maybe I will turn it into a travelogue. I hope you filled in the right words. Well done if you have done so. If not, please go through the exercise again. And finally, your homework. Imagine you could hop in DeLorean and go back in history. If you could have traveled back in history, which event would it be? Which year would it be? Your task is to write a short essay. Choose a specific point in time. It can be a year or an event. Give reasons why you have chosen this year or event. Describe the changes you would like to make. Use third conditional as often as possible. Also, refer to time expressions from the beginning of the lesson and try to use as many of them in your essay. Your essay should be 100 words long. This assignment will be used as a peer assessment. Once you finish writing your essay, you will send it to somebody from your class. You can choose your pair, or your teacher will assign you a pair. When you get somebody's essay, use this rubric to evaluate it. When assessing the essay, pay attention to its content, grammar and spelling, vocabulary, and word count. This rubric is in Croatian to make it easier for you to use it. Good luck! This is all for today. Thank you for being with us. Bye, everybody!